One of the things that I do think about is this concept I first heard from Grant Cardone. It may have been said elsewhere, but that's where I heard it first. And that is the idea that we are slowly evolving into a renter nation. Just to give you some statistics, currently today, about 68% of us are homeowners, thus 32% are renters. But if you believe what Grant Cardone says, we are slowly evolving into a renter nation. And I thought I would talk to Matt, the mortgage guy, who is both a mortgage broker, sees investors and homeowners, and he is an investor. So I thought we should talk about what's going on. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, Mike. And this is a conversation that, has got so many facets to it because affordability is an issue. And,
Oh, yeah.
I talk to, home buyers. I talk to real estate agents who are talking to home buyers. I was telling you, I talked to somebody who reached out from a publication that's doing a story on the fact that it's hard. And so my first reaction to it was, in times like this, where affordability is an issue for more people than it has been in the past, times like this where there's not a lot of inventory, there's a lot of market dynamics that make it harder. People get creative, right? And people get creative in a bunch of different ways. I think me and you are more apt to speak with investors.
Sure.
And I'm probably talking to, like, the vast majority of my clients are first-time home buyers and real estate investors. And then
Yeah, makes
there's,
sense.
some other folks, but both first-time home buyers and investors alike are looking at housing and saying, I know real estate's a good long-term investment. I would much rather own than rent. So it's not a matter of, like, throw up my hands, I can't do it. How do I do it?
Right.
The answer to a lot of them is, oh, if I buy a single family and I can rent each room for $1,000, now all of a sudden this big scary $2,600 a month mortgage payment turns into $600 for me and $1,000 for two others.
Yeah.
While I'm paying it down, it's increasing in value, all the benefits of home ownership. So seeing I'm going to buy a duplex, live in one side, rent out the other. I'm going to buy a 3 or 4 unit with an FHA loan, and I'm plugged into my new owner occupied residence and 3 rental properties all in one transaction with 3.5% down. Like, that's pretty sweet for a lot of folks, but it's definitely different than it has been in the past.
Yeah, when I hear the renter nation again, I fully admit I'm broken, right? My brain tries to translate that to a number, right? So if we're today at about 68%, I would say, hey, we're a renter nation if that went to like 60%, right? It had a meaningful drop. And when I look at what's going on in the economy now, because again, I've looked at it all the way back to 1970. And to my knowledge, I don't think we've ever even got close. I think 64% was the low, 64.1. I don't see us going that way. I think the American system, psyche, who we are as a people, I believe home ownership is one of the tenets or anchors. I also believe when you look at the scoreboard, people who own real estate, even if it's a home and that's all you own, they're worth more. I think you get rich by letting inflation help you, and you do that by owning assets. I do think there's also a lot more discussion today about house hacking. I think house hacking is the cheat code to wealth. It's one of the only regrets I have in life is I didn't house hack a Bay Area fourplex in 1992 or 93 when I could have. My life would be fundamentally different. So I don't see it coming. I think Renter Nation is a title that builds emotion. I do think we go through cycles. I think we are exiting a cycle where affordability was horrible. 2022 was the second worst year ever, the worst year being 1980, and it was all interest rate and price sensitive. I think as affordability slowly gets better, that talk track goes away, but I can certainly appreciate it. But I don't see us getting to 60% ownership and 40% renters. Could you see us getting that divergent?
No, I mean, the current, like, demographic trends where there's more 34 to 36-year-olds, and those, there's
Millennials
household
aging
formations,
in.
they're buying. I'm talking to them every single day. And it's always interesting too. Like, I try not to be biased, even though I love real estate. I love real estate investing. I'm life-changing opportunity through homeownership is literally, our company slogan.
Right.
But you got to be careful because somebody who's in multifamily, somebody who wants everyone to be a renter so you can
Yeah.
buy, another 10,000 units and continue to have zero vacancy. Like that's probably the
Yeah.
optimistic
Little
view,
biased. Yeah.
right? For a big multifamily investor,
Yeah. It makes
and,
sense.
I might be skewed the other way where I just think
Sure.
that, through my own personal experience. And that's one of those things where, I don't preach real estate to people and preach that like a dummy like me can over time create a lot of generational wealth through real estate without saying, yeah, I bought a house in 2006. Was $2,700 a crazy payment? Yes, but what did my now wife, then fiance, do? She had a friend rent a room for $550. I had a friend rent a room for $550. We house hacked before I even knew that was a concept. And so the $1,600 a month that we forked out was something we can afford. Did the housing market, do things where people were like, you shouldn't have bought in 06? It sure did. And guess what happened? I held on to that house. I refinanced that house. Now I own said house, get monthly cash flow. It continues to appreciate. It'll be paid off in a dozen years. And I'm going to have something worth, whatever it's worth then, 12 years from now, probably 700 or 800 grand. All because I bought a house to live in. I made it work by adding a couple of roommates and I held for the long term. Like that's the real estate play that anyone can do. And so I'm passionate about, I can help anybody do this. If a dummy like me did it, anybody can.
Yeah, for me, it's about again, you can use inflation to get rich. I believe it so much. I created a T-shirt. Um, you got to own the asset, cash flow day one, 30-year fixed rate debt. Then just wait, time make it go away, right? So your mortgage rate's fixed. House hacking's the cheat code to wealth. We talk about it all the time with various investors on here, and yeah, I don't believe the hype. I don't think like I've been to some European countries where rent like it is a renter nation, like 80% of the units are rented, like they're owned by big insurance companies and things of that nature. So I've been to countries like that. I don't see the US going there. Maybe it's a hope, maybe it's a bias, don't know. But I certainly do not see 60% owners, 40% renters. We'll move around a couple of points based on affordability, but we'll see. So Matt, do me a favor, where can people follow you and what is your YouTube channel? Because you have a lot of great videos there.
Sure. Yeah. Keep pumping them out. So every time I say a number, I got to realize like, it's 15 higher than it was the month before, but 700 plus videos on Matt, the Mortgage Guy on YouTube. So go check that out. And there's stuff on the 2-1 buy down. How does an escrow account work? Should I buy points? All the mortgage things, along with some of my thoughts on rates and real estate and whatnot. But if you're looking to get pre-approved, if you want to connect me and my team, greatmortgagebroker.com, quick and easy form. And we'll connect with you no matter where you're at in this great country of ours.
First time buyer, house hacker, real estate investor, FHA, VA buyers, reach out to Matt the Mortgage Guy. FHA, VA buyers, don't get stuck just working with a little private bank because they may be taking advantage of you. Go get the best rate you can. Matt the Mortgage Guy is the man. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Mike.